Welcome, ladies, to the Real Estate Investor Show, providing inspiration, strategies, and insight to empower women investors to live balanced and financially free lives. Now, here are your co-hosts, Liz and Andressa.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Liz.
And this is Andressa.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Investor Show, where our mission is to empower women to live a financially free and balanced life. And we have 2 episodes we put out, right, Andressa, each week, yes. A minisode and then more of an interview style episode. Mm-hmm. And you have came back with us for a minisode today. And we are talking about how to become a master relationship builder. Okay, Andressa, we are talking about how to become a master relationship builder. And you're going to take the ball and like interview me on this, because this is literally
of course,
one of my
because
favorite
you are the master. In our relationship, you are the master in relationships. I always like, Liz, how should I deal with this situation? So if you're listening to this and you have relationship matters, that's Liz. Liz is my counselor. So for people like me, introverts that are like 880, there's no gray in between. Where should we start? Because it does not come naturally, as it does for folks like you that are more like love people. Hey, how are you? All that, like life of the party. So what should we do?
Just go into a room and shut the door. No, I'm joking. I love introverts, and I always feel like that's what I want. I want to be Andressa when I grow up. And Andressa usually says the same about me.
That's right.
It's interesting, right? I think, becoming a master relationship builder by all means does not mean the introvert needs to become an extrovert. I'm not a big fan of people becoming something they're not. I think in our society, there's almost like people feel bad about being an introvert. I think we need to talk about that at some point. I think we're going to do a Facebook Live in our community. And I think that's a very, very important topic. But so let's go back, because introverts have so many amazing strengths that extroverts do not. And extroverts have so many amazing strengths that introverts do not. But one style shouldn't be made to feel like they should be something that they're not. But again, having said that, I think so many times in relationship building, we think relationship building is all about being the life of the party, or, I think introverts can be masterful at relationship building, but they need to do it in a way that works for them. So let me think, let's break that down. So we all know building relationships, especially in real estate, is important, right? We know that as an important piece. Now, it doesn't mean you have to do it all yourself. However, it is important if you are the person that's built, in your business, that's the leader of the company, and that takes work for you. You want to get clear on 2 things, because if you're an introvert, you like to kind of cut through the noise. You want to get to the point, and you also are more about like strategy, and you don't want to have a lot of like chit chat. Now, sometimes people like chit chat, so you have to be mindful of sometimes giving people what they don't, what you don't always have, or what your natural tendency is. There's 2 things you want to think about: who and then how. Like, who do I need to build relationships with? And then how do I need to build relationships with? I don't think that there's a fallacy of thinking like, okay, I identify commercial brokers is who I need to build relationships with. If you want to buy multifamily, we come from multifamily, so I think multifamily, but I'm going to use it as an example. You can use it in any niche. You want to build relationships with commercial brokers. That's important for your business, right? The question then, even if you are the introvert, becomes how am I going to build relationships with them? The how can be you reaching out to them. It could be someone on your team. It could be a very strategic social media campaign that actually has nothing to do with you getting on the phone with people and chatting all day. Obviously, there is a one-on-one connection you need to make, but that's not the only part of being a masterful relationship builder. So my point in saying that is the how is the strategy. How am I going to build relationships with the people that matter? Like, get clear on that. Most people have never even thought of that, right? I'm just
yes.
But yet that is an important question. And then the how becomes not just you picking up the phone, but you doing some sort of social media posts, you doing some sort of newsletter, you
putting campaigns.
campaigns, you putting a note in your calendar once a month to shoot, to give a quick call. You don't have to have a long call with these people, but hey, how you doing? What's coming up? I just want to share with you, how can I help you? It's all about how you can help other people. Introverts are great at that. Extroverts are great at that. But how can you help other people so they help, so that you could be in a position to build a relationship, give more than you take, and do it strategically. Do it through, a mindfulness, not just like chit-chatting with people all the time. That's relationship building is so much more than that.
Yeah, I think that you're hitting on the point that is like, to me, I need to feel good about it. I don't want to be like strategic when I'm talking to somebody. I want to be present, because if I'm not like intentional to be present there, I disengage very easily. I get like bored, like, and then like I'm out.
I think I may have experienced that before.
If I am like super quiet and just like glazing, I am like bored. I'm not there anymore. So I that's like one of the biggest challenges for me. And there are certain conversations that I forget. For example, so many amazing women that we interview, for example, that I am like so super excited that I forget that I am the interviewee. So I feel that those are very like genuine conversations, not strategic, because that's like boring sometimes. Strategic conversations to me are like very like 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, let's go to the next step. I think that building relationships, I want to also know about that person, because I want to do business with that person, not because of the number of houses or doors the person has. I want to know a little bit more.
Absolutely. And I think you're saying something really useful. It's like, if you are someone who's so goal oriented that you forget about the building of the relationship, like literally you jump into a conversation and you just get to it.
Yeah.
Then it becomes really something you need to be mindful of. Even before the conversation, I heard it once, I forget who said it. They said, every time you enter a conversation, every time you enter a meeting, every time you enter something new, it's like a segment of your day. Our days are really a bunch of different segments. They're a bunch of different experiences. What is the intention for that segment? And so if you're about to call a commercial broker and you are that introvert that's like, I don't want to have a conversation with this person. I just want them to send me deals. Can you just send me deals? I don't want to get to know you. If you're that person, then like, what's the intention of the conversation? It's like, okay, really, I know how important it is to build relationships. I want to get to know that person and I want to add value. Then that's your intention. And wouldn't you go into that conversation a little more excited than like,
I feel that I want to do business with people that I can have other types of conversations, because,
of course,
right? Let's be honest. Sitting down at a closing table for hours is like boring. So I rather have conversations. Then I can, and do business with people multiple times. That's like my goal. So if I like what you do, I like you as a person, I like everything around, I can continue that long-term relationship and not be like super superficial. I can't wait for this deal to close because I can't stand this boring conversation.
And you're making me think of something very powerful. I said it in my trainings and I'll say it here. If you are an introvert, you naturally will put task before people. That's what makes part of your genius so great, because you literally can look at something or do something and just like simplify, task it out. Like that's what makes you who you are. And that's just such a huge strength. But if the goal of the conversation or the goal is to be relationship, you need to schedule time to relationship build.
Yeah.
Like I naturally will relationship build, but then I need to schedule time to work on like the tasks, because that I don't always go there first. I will talk to Andressa. We'll get on the call. And I know she wants to like move into like getting to the point. And I'm like, but you didn't ask about my vacation,
I knew. I was like, Liz needs the 5-10 minutes to understand what's going on. But we only have like half an hour for it.
We only have a half hour, so cut it down short.
Catch up later on.
We'll catch up later, and this is what we usually do. But my point in saying that is, if you are someone who naturally doesn't incorporate it, schedule time to build the relationship with people that are important in your life, business and personal. Relationship building is important. It doesn't come natural to you. So what do you think? It's just going to come natural to you every day? No, you have to schedule it. I would say that to an introvert, like schedule it, be intentional and be yourself, and you'll be amazing at it. Really. Because you're someone who's probably a better listener, and you'll ask better questions and actually hear what people are saying than others.
Let me ask you a question. When we go to networking events, right? There's so many people there, and I despise getting business cards. I was like, don't even send, give me your business card. It's like a waste of paper. I'm not gonna look at it. Like, I'd rather you send me an email or whatever. But is it possible to build relationships in those events, do you think?
Yes, I do. I think what ends up happening there, some people say, oh, spend a couple of minutes with people and then move on. I don't have any of that type of approach. I mean, I think people, don't go into networking events and conferences with clear goals. I think that's a problem. You need to go into those events with clear goals, even if it's just to build relationships with common people, with fellow investors. I go into every event like, what are my goals? How can I add value? And what are my goals?
Consciously,
intentionally, before you get into that thing. So if it means like, I'm going to meet, like, I really want to meet some private money partners. It doesn't mean every conversation has to circle around that, because then it's like agenda oriented. Mm-hmm. But I think, having conversations with people, and getting to know them. Oh yeah, I'd love to have a follow-up conversation with you to build this relationship further. I do that all of the time. I have follow-up conversations with people that I met at conferences, because you can't get into an hour conversation with everyone. Nor do you want to. You meet some people who are like, I'm never going to talk to this person again. I never want to talk to this person again. So, and you have to be kind, but seek to understand, ask about them. And really get clear on what you want to accomplish, but also be someone who knows that follow-up conversations is going to be necessary in terms of building relationships. That's just how it goes, and give more than you take. I'm an abundant person too. And I know you are, Andressa. I make connections with people all the time, and I know deals are happening. People are winning business, and I'm not like, this is my referral fee. And some people will be like, well, that's your core genius. You should, well, it all comes around. And that's my opinion, because that's my core genius. And so my point in saying that is know what you bring to the table, and just, take one step towards building relationships. But if you're an introvert, schedule it, because it's not going to come naturally to you. Andres and I have a once a month meeting, and we schedule time, and we chat a lot about our lives during that meeting. It is scheduled.
It is.
So,
it is on my calendar.
Having said that, have a great rest of your day. Do something with this. Create a plan to be a masterful relationship builder. It doesn't happen by osmosis. So with that, we'll see you soon. And thank you so much for being on this journey with us.
Thank you. Ciao. If you enjoyed this podcast and want to receive updates on our next interviews, go to our website, therealestateinvestor.com. There, you can subscribe to our show, become part of our investor community, and get updates on upcoming episodes.
If you like our show, please share with other women who would benefit. And don't forget to leave us a rating on iTunes. We'd really appreciate it. And as always, we encourage you to take one action as a result of today's show and put it into motion so you can live both a financially free and balanced life. Thanks for spending time with us.
Ciao.